Ready? I'd like to call to order the meeting for the Allegany County Board of Education for May 9th. If everyone would stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would also like to now have a moment of silence. We lost a student this past weekend, and I'd like a moment of silence for the family, please. Okay. I also, there is a change under new business, for the beginning of new business for a change in the calendar, so we will address that then, but it needs to be added to the agenda. Reading of the closed session summary for executive session April 11th.
The Allegany County Board of Education met in closed session on April 11th at 3:30 p.m. at the central office. The purpose of the closed session was to consult with legal counsel, discuss personnel matters, and engage in administrative function. All 5 board members were present for the meeting, and the vote to go into closed session was unanimous. The topics discussed in closed session was open contracts for new teachers, class action suits, Potomac therapy update, update on legal issue with parent, and renewal of legal services.
Thank you, Mr. Llewellyn. Moving on to the consent agenda, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Dr. Bond, motion.
Second.
Crystal Bender, second. All those in favor? It passed unanimously. Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. To start off, I'd like to take a moment in today's meeting to recognize and thank Carly for her leadership role as a student board member, and wish you the best in your future. And we have a gift of appreciation, and as I'm making my way over to give that to you, I'm going to put you on the spot. Tell us what's in your future, if you don't mind sharing with us.
So next fall, I'll be attending Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. I'm going to major in neuroscience on a pre-medical track and minor in public policy.
Thank you.
We have the, next on the agenda is the recognition of the student page, Mr. John Logston.
Board President Farrell, members of the board, Mr. Blank. The Student Page program is designed to interest youth in state government and to enable students to provide a vital service to legislators and officials. The page representative is selected by representatives of Fort Hill, Mountain Ridge, Allegany, and BW. Each page serves 2 non-consecutive weeks, either in House of Representatives or the Senate. This year's page is a senior at Fort Hill High School. He has a 4.5 grade point average and will attend Potomac State in the fall. This year's page is Andrew Swink. If Andrew made it tonight. Okay, I will make sure that Andrew receives this tomorrow morning. Thank you all.
Ms. Clyte and Ms. Julie McCoy from the chamber. Mary's not with you this evening?
She sends her apologies. Mary is not with us this evening, but thank you. Thank you, board members, Mr. Blank, for allowing us an opportunity to make this presentation. I'm Julie McCoy, Executive Director of the Allegany County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here tonight in partnership with WCBC Radio, who, with sponsorship from Chessie Federal Credit Union, hosts each year the Student Salute Program, which highlights the tremendous accomplishments of dozens of Allegany County high school seniors. An added piece of this program is that the Chamber of Commerce, Education, and Workforce Development Committee selects the top 3 students to award them a scholarship to Frostburg State University. Our committee reviews submitted profiles of each student and scores them based on GPA, participation in honors, AP, college, and special programs, awards and achievements, leadership positions, extracurricular activities, employment, and volunteer contributions. When final selections are made, enrollment at FSU is confirmed and the students are informed of their award. We have so many brilliant, talented, and hardworking students in our community, and it is an honor to play a small role in keeping them here while they pursue secondary education. Tonight, we will present our 3 awards, 2 $500 scholarships and 1 $5,000 scholarship. From Allegany High School, Alex Kennel, a $500 scholarship. Also from Allegany High School, Olivia Looker, a $500 scholarship. And from Mountain Ridge High School, Leah Boggs, a $5,000 scholarship. Congratulations to each of you, and on behalf of the Chamber, WCBC, Chessie, and FSU, we wish you all the best.
Thank you. Can the students please come forward? Come on up to the microphone. Come on. Right up here. And if you don't mind sharing, share with us what's in your future. I know it's for the seniors here, so first of all, congratulations. Thank you, Julie.
Hello, my name is Leah Boggs. I plan to major in music education and minor in musical theater and computer science.
That's all. Thank you. We need them. And congratulations, by the way. All 3 of you have seen in all different activities, not just scholastically, but all the other things that you're involved in. Very impressed. Olivia?
Hi, I'm Olivia Looker. I'm a major in health science and minor in animal behavior, and I'm going to try to get my doctorate in veterinary medicine.
Great.
Hi, I'm Alex Kennel, and I'm planning on attending FSU to pursue in wildlife and fisheries.
Great.
Can I ask you, is that going to interfere with you and your dad's hunting or not?
It's great that our students have the opportunity to go local. So I'm sure mom and dad and family all appreciate that too. So.
Next on the agenda is the recognition of the Change Maker Essay Contest winner for Women's Action Coalition. Carmen Jackson.
I'll introduce them. Thanks. Good evening, Mr. Blank, President Farrell, and members of the board. We at ACPS are always looking for ways to amplify student voices and to support the next generations of change makers. We also highly value our community partnerships. It is in the spirit of both of these things that I am very pleased to announce that we have been able to offer a new opportunity to our students thanks to the Allegany County Women's Action Coalition. They have begun a new essay contest for our students who are actively working in our community to change it for the better in many different spheres. This evening, Sherry Snyder and Carmen Jackson from the Women's Action Coalition are with us to present the awards.
Well, good evening, Mike Llewellyn, hello, and Mr. Blank and members of the Board of Ed, and Carly from my area of Frostburg. My name is Sherry Snyder, and I chair the Scholarship Committee for the Women's Action Coalition of Allegany County. Carmen is a member of that committee, and she's interested in documenting everything. So if it was up to me, we wouldn't document anything because I can't even work my camera on my phone. But we thank you very much for having us here. This is the first year for the scholarship, and we really believe it ties in with the Women's Action Coalition mission of really building a stronger community and diverse voices and making a safe place for women and families to live and raise their family and live comfortably. But we wanted with this scholarship to raise up the emerging change makers in our community. And so for the first time we put together this approach and we put out a call. Thank you very much for helping us with that, and guidance counselors and teachers in the school system. So we have one award of $500 for the Changemaker Scholarship, but when we reviewed the applications, we really felt there were two others that deserved honorable mention. So we're actually honoring 3 young women tonight, all from Allegany High School. So Allegany High School really turned out well, and all are graduating high school seniors. So I'd like to first call up Tessa. All right, Tessa Gibson-Toll is the winner of the award recipient of our scholarship. And I want to just read a little bit from her application. So you're going to have to listen to your words, dear. This is what she wrote. We gave the applicants a choice. They could either do an essay, but really in the form of a letter to the editor, a speech, or a position statement. And it was on the 9th Amendment and how it might be used to impact women. Or the other option was to submit an artifact that would reflect their vision and their role as changemaker. It could be a poem, a work of art, a painting, a photograph. It could be a video of a dance. We look at changemakers as coming from diverse backgrounds. Oftentimes we just think of changemakers as the leaders who stand up and direct people, but in fact changemakers can be very quiet type folks who are examples in their community of service leadership. They might be an activist, but they also might be an artist or a writer who inspires people to gather around a vision for a better world. So that's how we framed the scholarship. And 2 choices. One, they could do this essay-type presentation around the 9th Amendment, or they could submit an artifact. Tessa wrote an essay that on the 9th Amendment and related that to women and society. And in her application, which was separate from the essay, this is what she wrote. In a better world, all genders, ethics, and races would be treated the same. They would all have an equal voice, equal opportunities, and equal respect. A changemaker helps make this better world become reality by using their voice, like I talked about in my presentation. She also goes on then in her application to say, my parents who are with her, if you want to just take credit for this beautiful young woman, all right? She said, my parents gave me the middle name Katie in honor of one of the greatest suffragettes, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and her partner in crime, Susan B. Anthony. On my birth certificate, my parents wrote, we are hoping our daughter is inspired to be as feisty as these two. Now, in a more modest tone, Tessa said, I can't claim to be as renowned as these women yet, but I'm determined to do my part to speak truth to power and fight for a better world for all. I'm a strong advocate for environmental and social issues. I have marched in multiple marches for these causes, and that includes climate change, women's rights, and the Black Lives Matter movement, because I want to help encourage and be part of the change for a better world. So I'm going to let her, I think, Mr. Blank, you had asked the others about what their intentions were. So
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Okay.
So what's next?
Tessa, why don't you just explain what your plans are, and then.
I plan to go to St. Mary's College of Maryland. I'm hoping to major in environmental science with a double minor in biology and education, and I'm hoping to do their MAT program and become a teacher.
Great. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you.
There you go, dear.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And now for our 2 honorable mentions. The next one is Abigail Grove. And Abigail, you want to come up with me? Abigail chose the second option, which was to submit an artifact, an example of using expressive arts, her vision, and her role as a change maker. She wrote a beautiful poem that is, I'm not going to take the time to read it. We will be putting them up on the Women's Action Coalition website, but it was marvelous. And this is what she wrote on her application. When I envision a better world, I see a world in which women are able to achieve their career and personal goals without fear of ridicule or harassment. At this point in time, it's nearly impossible for a woman to escape criticism and, in some cases, violence as they journey through life. So she used her poem to express her own choices to pursue her career goals, regardless of how others feel about her right to do so. It was a very powerful, powerful poem. So I'm going to let you share with them what your plans are.
So in the fall, I will be attending the University of Maryland with a major in neuroscience. I'm not currently sure whether I'm going to pursue medical school or a doctorate in neuroscience, but I will be doing either of those things.
Right. Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Congratulations. Thank you. And she's being modest, but the neuroscience program that she was accepted into is selective admissions. So she was selected. It wasn't just something she checked the box. That's what I'm going to try to study. But she was selected. So congratulations on that. And the second honorable mention was Olivia Looker, who was already up here. Whoa, two in one evening. So Olivia, this is what she wrote. And she also chose to do her application using the Ninth Amendment as a position statement. My vision for a better world is one where no discrimination based on sex, sexual orientation, race, or opinions would exist. A world where every individual would respect each other, the law, and adhere to the moral code of conduct. My project, Option A, addresses the Allegany County Women's Action Coalition mission because my speech entails ways that women or community members can challenge unfair and unequal laws against women, which will make them feel safe and able to live their lives every day free and happy. By conveying ways to eradicate unequal treatment, I give power to women all over the world to take action and be their own community's change makers, which will eventually spark change to accomplish the mission statement. So beautiful. Congratulations, Olivia, and I'm going to let you share what you're going to be doing.
Share again?
No.
Oh, that's right, you did. Yeah, share again. No, that's okay. Is there anything else you want to ask her since she...
No.
Anything else?
Congratulations.
Then
Olivia.
congratulations. Thank you very much for taking the time to have us. We're very excited about the scholarship, and we'll be back next year.
Me dismiss them. Thank you.
I'm no stranger to this group. I must keep my standards.
Sure.
For the board members to join us.
Sure. Take a picture. Yeah, we want to congratulations, parents and students. Anyone who wants to leave, you're more than welcome to stay. But recognizing our students, we're done that portion. So anyone who needs, they're busy seniors. We get it.
Just give them that. Nobody's giving
Okay, next on the agenda is the presentation of proclamation recognizing May 5th as School Lunch Hero Day. Dr. Bond?
So, first of all, Todd, you're lucky you're the first person to be exposed to the new way of presenting our proclamations.
Okay.
Instead of reading these and everybody glossing over, I just want to take a minute and say how much we appreciate the job our school lunch personnel have been doing, and that they're feeding kids 2 meals a day and things run smoothly, and we don't hear about problems in that department. So that truly does make you guys heroes, and we appreciate it. So with that, I'll just present you with this proclamation, and know that it was Friday. We're a couple days late. That's okay. And then you can speak your mind as to whatever you'd like to say about it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Well, thank you on behalf of the food service department that work very hard each day. They're kind of behind the scenes that everyone doesn't get to see all the time, but my staff work very hard in the office and warehouse and out in the cafeteria. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate what they're doing as well. So thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is a presentation of a proclamation recognizing May 8th to 12th as Pupil Personnel Worker Week. Ms. Lori Lepley will present. Jean Pistowski, my old friend, is here.
I get to present this to my old teacher, and I'll do the shortened version as well. And we appreciate pupil personnel workers and everything that you do to help serve our children. And Pupil Personnel Worker Week is May 8th through the 12th. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Blank, President Farrell, and other board members. I am accepting this proclamation on behalf of myself and my colleagues Kim Taylor, Tracy Duncourt, Alyssa Pancake, and Sandy Arnold. We are proud and honored to be part of the student service team for Allegheny County Public Schools. In fact, I'm going to say we're the best team in the entire state. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our director, Debbie Matheny, for her support and guidance. Thank you again for this proclamation.
Thank you, Jean. Next on the agenda is the presentation for proclamation recognizing May 8th through the 12th as Natural Teacher Appreciation Week. I think Ms. Sloan's here, and Ms. Crystal Bender is the presenter.
National Teacher Appreciation Week is recognized May 8th through the 12th, and as the proclamation summarizes, teachers spend countless hours preparing lessons, evaluating progress, counseling and coaching students, and performing community service, just to sum it up. And we want to say thank you to all of our teachers for all their hard work and dedication to our students, and this is presented to Ms. Kimberly Sloan on behalf of the ACEA.
Mrs. Bender, President Farrell, the members of the board, Mr. Blank, as I have the honor to be here, I'm always humbled to accept this on behalf of the dedicated and voted educators of Allegheny County Public Schools. Thank you for taking time to recognize the invaluable services that our educators provide to our students in our community through the many roles and responsibilities they carry out each day. We usually see the highlights here at these meetings, but so much more transpires on a daily basis to meet the social, emotional, physical, and educational needs of our students. We appreciate your acknowledgement and efforts to recognize our work, and to borrow from the theme tonight, our work is change makers, inspiring change makers. So thank you again.
Next, under instructional report, is the summer school update. Dr. Caubaugh.
Good evening. I want to give you a summer programs update tonight. So we will be offering summer academic programs for remediation, intervention, and acceleration to our students in pre-K through grades 8 this summer. Each of the levels, there will be a designated block for ELA and for mathematics. Students will take both a pre-test and a post-test to measure their academic growth. At the elementary level, there will be also some physical education activities, and there'll be some guidance lessons provided on social emotional learning for the students. In addition to that, there'll be a mini robotics unit for the students. There will be 5 elementary sites for the summer programs. At the middle level, the program is going to consist of a thematic, hands-on, summer-like camp for the students. There is also an extended program for our students at the secondary level with disabilities. And this year's program will also focus on ELA and mathematics, and they'll be looking at skills particularly related to geometry and reading informational text. Many activities are scheduled, and students will also have an opportunity to go outside. Thematic units include being a mad scientist, globe-trotting around the world, getting back to nature, Shark Week, through the decades, and everything farms. School therapy services and other related services will be available to students, and the site is at the Eckerd School. Students will also receive breakfast and lunch for these programs. Transportation services are provided, and parents will be informed of the pickup and drop-off sites once all the registrations have closed and transportation has had an opportunity to finalize that bus schedule. The information has all been provided to parents, and it can be found on the ACPS website as well. And the deadline for registration is very soon. It's May 15th, so that we can have time for transportation to get everything in order. At the high school level, there will be both a original credit program for students as well as a recovery credit program for any credits that students were unable to earn during the school year. And if parents want more information on original credit or credit recovery, they should speak to the school guidance counselor for that. I want to take a moment to thank all of the instructional supervisors who worked hard to put these plans together and who were very creative in their thinking about some of these programs. Mike McGowan and Kathy Eric at the elementary level, Katie Buskirk, Steve Thompson, Wendy Main at the secondary level, Trina Simpson for high school. And then I also would want to thank Transportation, Mr. Martz and his staff, as well as Mr. Lutton and his staff for what they're going to be needing to do for the food services as well. And so that kind of gives an overview of the summer programs again. And I will take any questions if you have any before I move to the next 2 items.
Dr. Caldwell, can you tell us which elementary schools that these programs are going to be offered in and how the parents apply? There's
a registration form that they apply for, yes. And then it's the elementary programs are going to be at several sites, South Penn, Cresaptown, Parkside, Frost, and Georges Creek. So we tried to cover all the areas in the county.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions?
No other questions. You also have Maryland Leads.
Yeah, so I'll give you just a very quick update on Maryland Leads and the Bobcat Academy. So for Maryland Leads, that's the grant we received for the teacher education program that we'll be working with ACM. And so we had an application period for incoming juniors, incoming seniors. We have 11 students so far who have applied for the teacher ed program at ACM. And so we can actually take applications up to early August before that has to be finalized. But right now we have 11. Our goal was 15, so we're getting closer to that goal. And then on May 16th, those students and their parents will be invited to ACM for a tour of ACM, a luncheon, and then a team building activity on that date. So that kind of gives you an update on the teacher ed program that will take place here in the fall. Any questions on that? And then the final item is the Bobcat Academy. Right now we have 5 incoming seniors who have completed an application to go to Frostburg State University full-time in the fall. So we have 5. We obviously can accept more If any students are interested, so if parents are interested, they can either contact the schools or contact my office to find out more about the Bobcat Academy. Any questions on that?
That's a great program for kids to be able to go to Frostburg full-time and to progress their college education. I mean, congratulations.
At no cost to them.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
a program with finding 11 students that are interested in going into education. Getting
Yes.
a jump start on that. Great job.
Yes.
Putting
Yes.
all that together, Dr. Caldwell.
Thank you.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you very much.
We're now moving to unfinished business, and we're considered a second reading of funding proposal, grants, specialty programs, policy, file DD. Mr. Llewellyn.
Board members, you have policy DD in front of you. Very minor change beginning the 2024 fiscal year, which is creeping up on us. We're just elevating where we discourage the level at which we discourage grants from being sought. So if it's less than $5,000, we're discouraging those types of grants just because of the administrative cost of doing those grants. It was $2,000. We're just trying to keep up with inflation. We do have the ability, though, for if there is a particular grant that's important, there is the opportunity to get a waiver from the chief financial officer. This is second reading, so if you pass it tonight, it becomes policy.
I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve file DD proposal, DD funding proposal, grant special programs.
Thank you, Dr. Bond. Second.
I second the motion.
Ms. Lepley, second. All those in favor? It passed. Consider second reading for evaluation of student policy IKA. Mr. Llewellyn.
Yeah, this is on for second reading. The changes to the policy are on page 2, if you're looking at it, and because of just the changes in the way we're doing early college now, more so than AP courses, the policy committee is making recommended changes to grade values for early college and dual enrollment and advanced placement. If second reading, if you pass it tonight, it becomes policy.
I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve second reading of evaluation of students file IKA.
Dr. Bond.
Second.
Second by Crystal Bender. All those in favor? Motion passed. Next on the agenda is consider a second reading of a weapons policy, JICI. Mr. Llewellyn.
The weapons in schools policy changes are to bring it in alignment with what's in COMAR. And so there was just a mistake in the policy. It said students may be required to participate, and it should be shall. And so also we put in the definition, the policy committee recommended we put the definition of expulsion. Again, this is second reading, so if you pass it tonight, it becomes policy.
Need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve second reading policy JICI, weapons in school.
Thank you, Dr. Bond. Second.
Second.
Ms. Bender, second. All those in favor? It passes. Next on the agenda is hearing of constituents. I don't think we have any signed up. So moving on. None of them. You don't have to respond to them.
That's right.
Okay, we're now in new business. I said, we're going to make the change in the agenda. So next up is the calendar change. Mr. Blank.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. I'm making a recommendation to the board. I'll make it all in one. I'll put both recommendations together. For next year's calendar, to adjust the primary election by moving April 23rd to May 14th, 2024. When we first put the calendar together, it was the dates changed since you voted on it passed. And my other recommendation is that the last day for teachers and IAs to be a full day on June 2nd, and summer hours to start for staff starting on June 5th.
Is everyone clear on that? So we need a motion to approve this.
Motion to approve the calendar change regarding Election Day and also for Teachers' Last Day to be June 2nd.
Thank you, Ms. Bender.
Second.
Second by Dr. Bond. All those in favor? Motion passes. Now we have a big one, renewal of legal services. So, Mr. Llewellyn has submitted paperwork and we have looked at it. We need a motion to renew Mr. Duet.
I make a motion to approve Mr. Llewellyn's legal services for the next year, representing Gephardt, McMullen, Pay, and Getty.
Thank you, Crystal.
Second.
Second by Dr. Bond. All those in favor? You're hired again.
Sorry about your luck.
Thank you. We're honored to serve.
Consider repealing administrative goals policy.
This is before you for first reading. So I've mentioned to you in the past that the policy committee has been engaged in reviewing old policies. For example, if you look at this one, if you look at the policy history, the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that this was last looked at in 2005. So we're trying to catch up. This hasn't been looked at in 18 years. Policy committee reviewed this. This is not the current practice of the board. The board currently sets goals for the superintendent annually. You have a process in place for doing that, and you don't really make them the policy. So because of that, this is kind of what we call a dead wood policy. And policy committee discussed it and is recommending that you repeal the policy to get rid of the dead wood. So if it will take 2 readings to do that, and tonight would be the first reading.
Move to repeal administration goals policy, file CA. First reading.
Need a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lepley. All those in favor? Passed. Next is consider repealing superintendent's cabinet and council policy and regulations, file CE. Mr. Llewellyn.
So you can cut and paste my remarks about old policies. This is another policy determined to be outdated. A lot of the superintendent, if you get into the regulation, I'll cover that next. This discusses that the board will have a team management philosophy of administration. We're not sure that was a hot kind of business school topic in 2005 or what, but that's not reflective of what we do today. So this is just another deadwood policy. We don't think it belongs. So policy committee recommends repeal of the policy.
I need a motion to repeal.
Motion to repeal file CE, Superintendent's Cabinet and Councils.
Ms. Bender. Dr. Bond.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay. Consider repealing JC, school attendance areas policy. Mr. Llewellyn.
The next item on your agenda is to adopt a new school attendance areas policy. So policy committee has been reviewing for the better part of a year this policy, it feels like, and so step one, the policy committee is recommending the adoption of a brand new school attendance areas policy. Step one will be to repeal the old, so we'll do them in tandem, and so we recommend repeal of the current policy.
Can we vote on them both, or we have to vote on them individually?
You can vote on them both at the same time. Same process would be 2 readings. So yeah, you can do that. So there's if you want to do both at the same time, that's possible.
Does anyone have an objection to voting on them both at the same time? Okay.
The regulation, of course, will be a review. So you'd be approving the policies, you'd be approving repeal and adoption at the same time, and then we can do the regulation next, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was complicated.
So move to repeal first reading, school attendance areas, file JC, and also at the concurrently move to approve first reading of school attendance areas, file JC revised.
Thank you, Dr. Bond. Second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Bender. All those in favor? Thank you. The regulation,
So next would be the regulation. So would be with the repeal of the other policy, there's the policy committee is also recommending the adoption of a new regulation. Of course, that's a review, so your vote, so if there's no motion to send it back to policy committee, it's just a review. So if there's no motion, then the regulation goes into effect, if that makes sense.
is there any questions on that? Okay. Next, we need a vote to meet in executive session June 6th as necessary.
Motion to meet in executive session, June 6, 2023, as necessary.
Motion by Ms. Bender,
Second.
second by Ms. Lepley. All those in favor? Student member of the board, you're up.
So on Monday, May 1st, HRDC was able to hold the senior citizen prom at the Cumberland Country Club, and this was the first one since 2019 and COVID. And so students from Allegany County and a couple students from Kaiser High School were able to attend and help out. We handed out leis. It was like Navy themed, like you're on a ship, and you were able to just kind of encourage them to get up and dance, help them out, and it was a really nice time. All the schools are concluding the end of the year, so exams, AP tests, all of that fun stuff. And for graduation on May 20th, which I, for one, am very much looking forward to. And I just wanted to say that it's been an honor to hold this position, and I'm really grateful for all the opportunities I've been able to have, the people I've been able to meet, and this is something I've really enjoyed doing. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We sure appreciate you being here and enjoyed you being here. So thank you very much.
Well, congratulations on your acceptance to Carnegie Mellon. I wish you the best on that. And it seems like this year went by very quickly with you sitting down there. So maybe you'll come back next year so it'll go fast again. Thanks.
Board member updates. Do we have any? I do. It was brought up to me earlier this week by a local media about a policy that Anne Arundel County had for folks that got involved with drugs and alcohol. We have decided, or I have decided, to move that investigation or review into the policy committee, because we would have to come out with a policy to affect that. It can't be done this year. It's going to have to be for next year. So we need to look at it. We need a lot of eyes on it, and to make sure that we've crossed all the I's, or dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. And so I'm moving that be moved to policy, the next policy committee. Mr. Lewin, will you kindly put that on the agenda for that? Anything else? The next thing I need is a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Dr. Bond,
Second.
Ms. Bender, all those in favor? We're closed.